Fritz, help, my client did not go into a scene in regression. What do I do? Now, if you were trained like me in regression as well, I was also taught to start with happy memories just to warm the client up to retrieve memories. And if they're happier, then they're more open to retrieving memories. That's not what I'm going to advise here. I'm going to advise something very, very different, but it's going to be more transformational for your clients. And it is to not force your clients to regress. If your client doesn't do well with the 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, click, 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 let's go back to scene, place, and time when you were younger, smaller, lighter, shorter, if they're not responding to that, it is most likely that that is not where they need to go in order for their issue to be resolved. That's it. That is not where they need to go. You want to think about it this way, right? The unconscious mind is very, very deliberate. And we could talk about the fact that maybe the unconscious mind just doesn't trust the practitioner. That could also be a big thing. And that is a video for a different time. But also, when you are meeting resistance with your clients, then one of the reasons why that happens is because it's just not the way the client needs to resolve their problem. So, what you can do is either do something else if you have other techniques that you want to use, you can go through that. That I don't recommend either because then you'll have like a bunch of 3 dozen different techniques that you'd have to sort through. There's too much thinking, there's too much work, and I don't know about you. I don't want to do that shit, right? Instead, I want to be very efficient with my clients and I don't want to waste brain space in trying to memorize or think about or prepare which technique to use for my sessions. Meanwhile, there is no way of knowing that until we sit our ass down in front of a client, right? So instead of that, what I would really recommend is to just have a conversation with your client first. A very, very strategic conversation where you're just spontaneously helping your clients to investigate the problem. Think about it this way. If like the very, very transformational sessions you've had, when was it that your client had the most transformation? Was it when they were going down the 10 steps? Was it when they imagined the lemon? No, it was when they actually got the breakthrough through the investigatory phase. And this can happen without regression. This can happen without a pre talk. This can happen without the inner child. This can happen without parts therapy. This can happen without any of that shit. All you want to do is just have a conversation, ask a client about the problem. So if that regression client came to you with sugar problems and sugar addiction, you're just going to ask them about their experience of having sugar. You are going to ask them about what they're experiencing as they experience the problem, because then this will expand of how they think of the problem. When you expand the problem, you're taking the variables out, handing it into your client for them to make sense of, and then they solve the problem themselves. That is it. You're asking a question. You're asking a question with the sugar addiction. So, what is the problem? They say, I eat emotionally. What makes you eat emotionally? You've just taken something out, right? And then they say something like, when I'm really, really stressed out, it makes me want to, it helps me cope. It makes me numb things. Okay, what are you actually numbing? I'm numbing the relationship problem that I have. And so that can get you a lot of juice, right? It is a lot more powerful than going back to their memories, which again, a different video. But if you're not going or you're not getting anywhere with regression, truth of the matter is, at the end of the day, regression is not the way your clients are going to solve their problem, because if it was and your client was motivated, they would just go there. So don't force your clients into a regression, whether or not it would be a happy scene. Instead, just explore the problem, just like the example that I just did, and just watch your client open up more. And try that for your next client, see how it goes, and then let me know to get your feedback and try it out. It's going to be a lot more transformational.